Oh, hello, Mr. Mushroom.
Hey, Caesar.
I met a friend of yours a little while ago. He was smaller. I gave him some BTC and he gave me a whole bunch of mushrooms.
Yeah, I know him.
So how about you? Can I feed you something?
Yes, I prefer ether.
Okay, here you go. Whoa, thank you. Hello and welcome to Caesar's Snack Sandwich. Today we're on Ethereum taking a look at a protocol called Mushrooms. Now I've looked at this before. If you want to see the overview video, I will put that up here right now. A mushroom up there. Go to there, watch that video, you'll get an idea of the entire protocol. But, these days I've been looking around, searching, trying to find places to put my ETH, because ETH is a little bit hard to find yield on. Now there's a few places that I've talked about before. There's Alpha Homora, which I'll put a link to a video here. There's the Cream Finance. Now the vault that I talked about in this video right here is no longer valid because the emissions have stopped, but you can still put Cream into Cream 2 ETH and lend it on Cream for a small yield, which is not bad. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about mushrooms. So let's head over to the protocol first, and then I'll go through a flowchart and explain to you how the vault is actually working. So here is the mushroom finance thing. This is the landing page, and it talks, about things inside. Now the thing we're going to talk about is this Rusula vault, and it has an APY of 4.9%. And then the Mataki Tempura, which has a APY of 178%. Now, I'll explain to you what these things do when we go through the flowchart, but those look pretty good to me, okay? Now, these are similar things, okay? First, you'll put your wETH in here, and you'll get this in wETH, and then you get some emissions of mushrooms by sticking your share token in here. So 100% of that, okay? Which is not bad at all, I think. Current price of mushrooms is $2, which is good. Now, I'm not sure the stability of this. I haven't looked into the tokenomics of mushrooms and the inflation schedule and all that. That's something you can do on your own if you want to. So even into volts, so we can look at that. Here's the volt here. Like I said, 4.9%. You deposit your wETH here, you get your shares, okay? If you don't know how these shares work, like why your wETH doesn't match your share number, you can look up here at this video. This video explains how shares are calculated and why the amount of ETH that you put in here does not match the amount of shares you get. Okay, there's a 2% withdrawal fee, so keep that in mind. Now they have put into use the Chi token to save you some gas. If you have Chi tokens, you can use the Chi tokens here to save your gas. And let's go over to the farms. So farms is this one here. This is where you're going to put your shares. So after you go to the other one, you get your shares, you put them in here. So you come here, I have a balance of 0, you can put them in, and this is where you're going to get your mushrooms. And here's where you will claim them. The numbers will grow here, and it'll display your growth here, and you can claim them. Now, I haven't put any in here. I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to put it in here or not, but I'm thinking about it. Now, this protocol, this vault in particular, was a clone of version 1 Yearn vault. And, although version 2 is coming out for Yearn, version 1 was stable. It was never hacked. It was never had any major issues. So that's good. It's not like this team has coded it up from scratch. They've used something that was tried and tested. And of course, they had to make some changes for it. I haven't had a developer look deep into the code, and I'm not a developer myself, so I can't say for certain whether or not it is soundproof, but you can make a choice on your own, okay, of this risk. I think the rewards pretty much warrant a good look or a good consideration. So okay, so here we are on the flowchart, and here we have Dollar Bill. He's got some ETH. Well, he's wrapped it up already, and he's got his wETH, and he wants to put it to use. He wants to jump into this psychedelic mushroom farm. So what's he do? Takes his ETH, he sticks it into the Rasula vault, like I said, and he gets back his wETH share tokens. Okay, all his ETH are in there now, and he's got his share wETH tokens. So as I showed you before, he sticks that up into the Mataki staker so that he can get his mushroom rewards. Those are the 100 APY type things, and he's going to get these. Now anytime he unstakes the tokens from the staker, he will automatically claim these, or he can claim them manually when he feels like he wants them. And he can do what he wants with them. He can sell them, and there's actually a vault that he can stick those in and get some APY on those as well. So you can watch that other video and find out where that is. It's in there. Okay, so what is the vault going to do with his wETH? This is what we're here for, so let's take a look. First thing they're going to do is they're going to add the wETH to Maker. They're going to open a Maker vault with their wETH and mint some DAI. Then what do they do with the DAI? They take the DAI over to Compound and they compound it into Compound. So they lend it to Compound and they borrow some more DAI. And they lend it to Compound and they borrow some more DAI. Now they do it the typical, 2.7% or 2.7 times and so forth. So, then they will lend. So think about it this way. They lend, borrow, lend, borrow, lend, and every time they borrow they have to borrow less than they lend, so it works out to be about 2.7 usually. So why are they doing this? Now this is not new to my viewers, but maybe to you. So they're doing it because anytime you lend or borrow on Compound, you earn comp tokens. Now these comp tokens are here for the claiming, and the vault needs to claim them. The vault will claim these tokens and bring them back to the vault. So now, what's it going to do with these tokens? As usual, it's going to send them to Uniswap and trade them for more wETH. So simple, swap them over to wETH, send the wETH in here and add it again and do it again and add it more and more and more. Okay, so that's pretty much how it works. That's the entire flow of it. Now there is a small missing piece of they do need to pay Keeper because they have Keeper contracts to do this harvest call for them. But that's pretty much it. Now, when I was looking at this, I got some ideas in my mind. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to work completely, but I think it might work. And that is this. Why not, when you bring the comp tokens here to Uniswap, instead of taking wETH and sticking it in here, and then sticking it into MakerDAO, because MakerDAO is going to charge you a small fee to run your vault. They're going to, you're basically opening you're lending wETH to them in order to make these DAI, and the DAI you're slowly having to owe more and more and more back. So why not sometimes, instead of making more wETH, why not just make some more DAI and send that up there and compound and still get more of these? So this is just a thought that came to my mind. Now if they did this, if they did send some DAI in here, there would be eventually times, get some ETH, maybe they want to compound some more ETH in here as well, so they could still do the ETH compounding. And the last thing, they could also use these DAI to pay off the debt at any time to lower the debt ratio that they have on this vault, because they owe DAI to this vault. So why not pay off a little bit of it sometimes? So maybe every third time or something. Now this makes it a lot more complicated and a lot more complex, and maybe a version 1 vault cannot handle this, but this is something for thought. This is just for the actual developers to think about and, give them something to wash around in their mind. So that pretty much covers my ideas and the actual flow. Remember, the flow is the black, the green is just things I was thinking about while I was looking at this and reading this and making this. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. So goodbye. Hello, thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel, there are a few ways you can help me out a lot. Number one is I have a Gitcoin grant. This is a pretty unique way to help out. Basically, the way this system works is if you supply me with any kind of donation, then the protocol itself will also match your donation with like an increasing amount the more and the more the people donate to me. So for example, if you were to give me 1 DAI, the protocol will give me 4 DAI, which is great, so your 1 DAI can go a long way. So please feel free to come here and check this out. Link to this will be in the description. Another way you could support me is by going to wGift, link in the description. And here, where this says collect, for me, it would say tip. You tip this, and you could give me some YUSD if you want. And that would definitely help me out quite a bit. Another way you could support me is you could check out my Rarible store and purchase an NFT. Now, the best kind of support is just you watching my videos and liking them and subscribing. So if you did that, thanks so much for doing that, and goodbye.